Good evening, good evening. Who's there? We'll give people a minute to come on in. Is there anybody there? Good evening, Bad Books. How are you? Good evening, Troy. How are you? How's your car selling going? We'll wait for a few more to turn up. Then I'll tell you about my not so good day. Troy is finding his car selling very slow. Yeah. What have I sold this year? BMW, Micra, Rover 216. Yeah, all took their time, apart from the 216, actually, that sold in about a week. I think maybe I slightly undersold it, but you never know. Bad Books has been battling the busy Easter roads, holiday roads. Yeah, I imagine the roads were quite fun. Not. Yeah, I was working fairly locally today, so I didn't have to get stuck in. I wasn't going anywhere. Wasn't going anywhere to Trunk Roadie. Bang, says Simone. Hello, Simone. How are you? I think people are beginning to flood in now, like a flood. Oh, Troy took delivery of the 114 yesterday. How is that? How is the 114? Have you been very excited and driving it everywhere? But you have got a man interested in your ZR, but he's got to persuade his wife or just not tell her. I've done that. Simone is good. That is good. I will tell you how I am in a minute because I'm not good. Bad Books did Spalding to Attleborough to Colchester. Crikey, that's a long jaunt, 300-mile jaunt. What were you driving, Bad Books? What were you? Stephen S. Paul. Hello from the one who is beardless. Hello, Stephen S. Paul. How are you? How are things over the other side of the old pond? I've got slightly less beard than I had last week, and very little hair. Well, I normally have very little hair on top, but I've been groomed this week in the um, non noncy sense. But yeah, someone did say to me, one of my neighbours said I look like Taj from not Little Britain, but the what was the Little Britain spin-off around the airport? Yes, Taj from that program. You know what I mean? Everyone's saying hello to each other. Troy says his Rover 114 is almost like new, but it needs new tyres and a damn good sorry, you didn't put damn good, and a good service. It hasn't been used since last August and hasn't had a cam belt since 2008. Well, you know what you've got to do. At least you've got a it sounds like you've got a plan shaping up there. Probably sounds like it needs a good drive as well. Just to, hopefully the brakes are all right. Hope not so rusted up that they're gonna need changing. Um That sounds nice. I look forward to seeing some pictures of that or something, Troy, at some point. Um, hello, pussycat. Hello. You gonna say hello, Louis? No, he's wandering off. Uh, Pingu says, "Good evening, Sir B&B. Hope you are fully recovered now. I will come on to my health in a moment." Bad Book is driving his repmobile Skoda Octavia, delivering plants as I'm a sales rep. Delivering plants, any so you're a sales rep of for garden centres or for a plant manufacturer? Do tell us. Um, Hooked on Classics asks me if I was washed like a dog in a big steel box. No, I wasn't actually washed. I was blown, and I was hot toweled. And they did try to massage me, but I said no, thank you. Um, Troy is too scared to drive it till he gets the cam belt done. Fair one, mate. Uh, I think that's a yeah sensible course of action. I think hopefully it's not too complex on it's a case series, isn't it? So it's yeah, pretty straightforward job I think to do the cam belt on one of those. Bad Book sells young plug plants, nurseries, and garden centres. That's something I'm a little bit behind on. Um, yeah, so I'm not. Last week I was told I had a kidney infection, and what are you doing, pussycat? Are you trying to get attention? Come and join the chat. Come on. He won't say very much. There's Louis. There you are, Simone. There's Louis. So yes, I was told I had a kidney infection, and I was given some antibiotics. Finished those, and thought I was feeling better. Then the pain down here has re-emerged. um, so I saw a different doctor today, and they think I've got diverticulitis, which isn't very nice. So I've been given some extremely strong antibiotics, the ones where they say you really can't drink if uh, if you're taking these, which is a bit of a sod because I'm supposed to be going to a beer festival this weekend, so that's now not going to happen. I have got to go for a blood test tomorrow, and I've also got to poo on a stick and take that into the doctor. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be really fun. Blood test and pooing on a stick, absolutely marvelous. Yeah, so I'll be probably crashing after this, as long as I don't crash during it. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm not in the best of health at the moment, which is a bit frustrating because there's so much going on. But I will be at Pride of Longbridge come what may. Uh, let's catch up on these comments. My eyesight is very poor today. Simone likes my kitty. Bad Books had a Louis cat many years ago, just like mine. Louis is very. If he stays still long enough, you can have a good look at him. But he looks very much like the cat on the Felix food box, and sometimes we do call him Felix. But yeah, he's had another very sleepy day today. So he's just been out on the fence and staring down at our neighbour's little dog who was getting terrorised by him. So yeah, Pingy, Simone, thank you. Yes, I hope they work as well. Simone says she's hoping to go to POL. Is it free to get in? Yes, it is. It's a free event. I think it's one of those where it's free to get in, but you're going to pay. You're going to have to sell a kidney to get a cheeseburger or whatever. there are various groups. So Project Nigel Paul, his group Rover and British Marks, they've got a stand. I'm in that group. I think if you trawl Facebook, there are various ways you can get in as a group. I think you can just turn up on the day though, and I'm guessing there's like an odd bins kind of car park. Yeah, but yeah, it's completely free. The weather forecast at the moment looks good. We'll do one of those because there's nothing worse than getting wet. Um, Bad Book says, "Crikey, get well soon. Blood test and pooing on a stick, not as bad as a prostrate exam, I suppose." No, because I've had one of those as well, but not recently. Um, I was thinking it'd be kind of something kind of erotic, like when Stifler had his prostate examined in the American Pie films, but it was yeah, an unpleasant surprise, shall we say. Um, Simone takes her own food. That's a good idea. I'm actually staying up. I'm going to stay in Bromsgrove the night before because I want to get there early to get some video footage of people turning up. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna. So I'll have to pay £5 million for a cheeseburger or a pork roll or something like that. Pingu asks, any further progress on the 260? I called in on the way back from work. Oh, what was it? Monday afternoon. And the ABS module still hadn't resurfaced from the magic land of ABS module fixings. And I'm actually off. I'm off tomorrow. I'm not off sick. I'm off on holiday tomorrow. So I'm gonna go and find out what's going on. I'm hoping they get the module back for the SRS module back for the 190 as well. So yeah, that'll be good. Eyesight is fucking awful. Yeah, but yeah, the target still is to get the 260 back next week. I'm just hoping that there's time to um, get the four-wheel alignment done and maybe try and get my body shop place to get the little bit of lacquer peel on the front wing done as well. But if I have to take it as it is, so be it. But I've got backup options. I think the BRM will be back with me fairly soon as well because I've put on hold part of the bodywork because getting the panels is a blooming nightmare. Uh, um, what was it? Yeah, Bad Books gave me some advice about speaking to the British Motor Museum. So I spoke to them. They then put me onto British Motor Heritage. British Motor Heritage can do panels or have got patterns for most things. For a lot of things, they seem to have more mini MGB and midget stuff. Yeah, they haven't got the R3, so I'm gonna get them to do the front ends of the car and then do the back end later on. I'm gonna try and find a scrapyard with a body they can cut up for me. Um, Bad Books will be in the Odd Bins car park. Nothing wrong with that. Kirsty Harley says, "Hi, Beards and Bangers." Hi, Kirsty Harley. How are you? Um, Hooked on Classics baffles me why four-wheel alignment is so pricey. I don't actually know what it costs. So you're telling me that I'm about to have another big car-related bill. Oh well, that's what happens on Beards and Bangers. I get big car-related bills. Kirsty's good. No, Kirsty, I'm not good. I've got diverticulitis, so I'm feeling quite poorly. Ugh. Yeah. I'm trying to think any other calamities we got. Yeah, finally got the prosecution notice through from Thames Valley Police for my speeding infraction. Fairly near where I live. It had some guidelines on there for what speeds qualified for a speed awareness course. and if you're in a 70 zone, the speeds permitted are 71 to 86 miles an hour, and I was doing 87 miles an hour. So I could well be getting points rather than doing a speed awareness course. So that is definitely going to slow me down. Um, yeah, and at least I can just have fun by testing 0 to 60s. So yes, Simone. No, I think on my rather quiet live stream last week, I told everyone that I was late for a work appointment and was doing 87 and a 70 about 3 miles from my house. But it's taken a little bit of time for the fine to come through because, like Bad Books, I've got a company vehicle, and it's a Volkswagen Transporter van that is pretty empty, and it's quite quick. So yeah, if you're not careful, you can end up doing ridiculous speeds without even trying. So yeah, I'm hoping what did I sent a letter off today to the speed fines support unit up in Banbury. And I have ticked the box saying I'll do a speed awareness, so maybe they'll be kind. It's my first offence, and luckily I've just renewed the 260 insurance, so I've not had to tell them about the points because I obviously haven't got any points yet. Yes, poorly and naughty. That's me. That is me, Kirsty. Yeah. So, has anyone else got any car or any other calamities? I think calamities have always seemed quite a good topic of discussion. Bad book speed, been there, done that. Now set cruise 75 miles an hour max in 70. Yeah, I think I know my speed. I've measured it against what's the other? I normally use Google Maps, but there's another uh, sat nav on the phone. Waze, that's it, and that tells you your GPS speed. And I think my van is got slightly it's slightly under eggs or over eggs what speed you're doing. Um, yes, I'm guessing 75 is probably okay. Yeah, cruise control. I've got it in the van actually, and it's the one I'm guessing Bad Books. If you got a Skoda, you might have a similar setup. So it's got like the radar in the front of the van, so it keeps you back from the car in front, or it detects when traffic's slowing down or when someone cuts in. And on the M25, it's actually really good. So it kind of it slows you right down to nothing, and then it goes boom, and you have to put your foot on the brake. And then as soon as you take your foot off the brake, when things start moving again, the car automatically picks up. So I never really like cruise control, but if I'm stuck in traffic, especially the M25, it's actually a really good feature. So Pingu says, them vans are deceptively quick. Them vans are deceptively quick. Yes. I seem to remember, and I might be repeating myself, but there was an old proper Top Gear, and they raced a transporter against and it would have probably been a T5 against a Mercedes Vito, and the transporter absolutely pissed it. It was seriously shite off the shovel. Simone has a car calamity to report. Oh yes, the paintwork on my 75 is going to cost £1,000 to sort. That's a lot of money. How much? I know you've told me this, but I can't remember how much paint you've got. I think you've got lacquer peel, haven't you? In various places. Well, 75 hours, not you, Simone. I'm not saying you've got lacquer peel. But the guy who did the alloy wheel said that the cost of paint has suddenly skyrocketed, like everything else. Bad Books has got a radar cruise, same as on the old Mazda 6. Yeah, they're quite good when they work. if it's really heavy rain, I think the radar gets impaired somehow. I don't really understand it or pretend to understand it or want to try and understand it. But I know when I was out last week, it was peeing down. Well, it was peeing down every day last week, pretty much. And the sat nav, the cruise control radar wouldn't do its thing. Um, yeah, yeah. So tell us more about your paint, Simone. And Pingu has so Boaty, as most of you probably know, bought his Freelander from Mike from Classic Wheels Wales, and they cleared the headlights, so not with the old way of masking everything off or taking the bumper off and then machine polishing the headlights to get the cloudiness out of them. But if you wash the headlights and then smear on some of this I've got some here. Here we are. Product placement. Our Troll, the original. So I think yeah, everyone in the car community's bought a tin of this in the last couple of weeks because it did a good job. But yeah, I haven't actually used it yet because young Austin, who was on the live stream a couple of weeks ago, has machine polished the headlights on both my ZTs for me. But next time I get a cloudy lens, wonder if it'll work on these actually. Next time I get a cloudy lens, I'm certainly going to be reaching for the Hour Troll. But yeah, Pingu has had an Hour Troll win this week, which is bloody fantastic. Yeah, the sensor switches off. It's not just my van then. Yeah. Simone says the bonnet is the worst for the lacquer, but it's more crazing. And you dented your near side last year, hitting a big rock too. Ugh. Yeah, I suppose I'm trying to think what I'm paying for the BRM. So just to get the front done on the BRM is costing £1,000, and that's for having the bumper slightly repainted, bonnet slightly repainted, and the front bumper lined up. So it's the bodywork. Bodywork's not cheap to fix unless you can do it yourself. I haven't welded for years, and it's something I've actually one of my kind of commitments to myself this year is sort of get practicing welding again. I'm not sure how my neighbours would feel about me welding on the side of the street, but yeah, we can give it a go. That's for sure. It's your sill. Your sill is dented as well. Oh God. Yes, and sills on 75s are a weak spot as it is, so it's not something you can do. Pingu says you have staff. What? Jimmy says hi, Beard. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? Bad Book says pounds don't go far for quality bodywork. No. It's true. It's true. But Simone says classic wheels. Wales says he would help. That's good. That's what the community is about. But Pingu's bodywork guy would charge a lot less than that, I think. It's always good to know other places. I know the chap whose 75s I took out last year, he can get alloy wheels on a lot cheaper than I've been paying. I haven't seen the wheels up close, so I don't know what the quality is like. But yeah, if I need any more bodywork doing, Pingo, well, I might give you a shout because it's not stupid mileage to get down to your way, assuming he is in your same neck of the woods. But yeah, and I do want to get the BRM sorted out at some point. Be nice to have that car back, actually. Be nice to have most of my cars back. In actual fact, it feels quite strange just having one drivable vehicle at the moment. But I'm not buying anything before anyone asks. Um, Pingu's bodywork man is literally at the end of his road. Right. Okay. Next time I need some serious bodywork, and that could be me or one of my cars, I'll give you a shout. Because this is good infos. This is really good infos. I'm just going to stretch because my stomach is slightly painful, and not just because it's very fat, because it's got nasties going on in it, and it's not very nice. And there was me thinking poo sticks was a child's game. Kirsty Harley, who lives very much near me and knows me quite well, says she doesn't think I need any more cars. No, that is indeed correct, and I shall not be buying any more cars, Kirsty Harley. Yes. Pingu says he's quite old though, so don't wait. Right, okay. Noted. Bad Book says, bless you, it's annoying when cars go AWOL. Yeah. Well, I know what's going on with mine, and I'm not pressurizing anyone to get stuff fixed because you know, it's quite nice having, obviously my situation, as most of you know, is that I have to use a street I have to work the streets to do all my car repairs and store my cars. So it's quite nice that a couple of them are in secure salt-free areas at the moment. Jimmy Quinn says the bodywork guy, no VAT, no tax, so cheap. Bad Book says, what, no more cars ever? Of course I'm going to buy more cars at some point. It's just, yeah, it's given, isn't it? So I'm still getting eBay alerts for certain cars, so I'm just not looking at them at the moment. Pingu asked me how is MGTF life? It's very pleasant. I'm hoping we get a decent couple of days over the weekend, and seeing as I'm going to be off the booze for 7 days, I can do a bit more driving at the weekend. So no beer festival means more driving. But yeah, I'm gonna keep the hardtop on for a little bit longer, and then when it gets properly warm, I shall get the hardtop off and go topless. Yeah, and it's got the. I think I said last week the guy who sold it to me gave me all the sort of extras he had. So it's got the hard top. It's obviously got the standard soft top, but it's also got a tonneau cover as well, which is very, very good. Pingu is going to try and not buy any more cars this year. That's something I'm also thinking. But if something comes up, you've probably got more willpower than me, Pingu. If something interesting comes up, it never. I can't promise. Kirsty says no beer festival because Kirsty actually works in my local pub where the beer festival is. I will be coming to the beer festival, Kirsty. I just will be drinking non-alcoholic drinks because I'm not missing out on that Thai food. No way, because it's bloody gorgeous. Pingu has 15 cars. Okay, you're competing with Matt from Mr. Furious Driving with 15. Blimey, that's what was my peak this year? 8, I think. So yeah, I've got a long way to go to get to your standards, Sir Pingu. Long way to go. Bad Books had his Unos roof down on Sunday and has never had the hardtop on for 9 years. Yeah, I'm assuming, Bad Books, you've got a driveway or garage. So I wanted a TF with a hardtop just because it is going to be parked out, unless Mummy lets me use her garage, which I'm going to ask her to put the BRM in actually. Yeah, so I'll be taking the hardtop off probably May, June time. Um, and because I am going to be doing a drag race, or not a drag queen race, a drag race with Simon from Project MGTF. So we've got to decide whether we do it with hard tops on or off to make it a fair. Well, it's obviously not a fair match because I've got a 160. Um, but I'm probably heavier than him, so we've got to make sure that the rest of the car, the weight is fair. Um, Hook Simone would love to drive an MGTF. You can drive mine, Simone. I know you live miles away from me, but if we meet up at Pole and I happen to be in that, which I might be, or we meet up at some other gathering, then you are more than welcome to drive my MGTF. Pingu might buy a van though. What van would you get? Would it be a freight rover? Hmm. Discuss. Bad Box has got a big shed. Yeah, that's what I need. I need to move. I need to move house to a like a tiny little house, but with a huge driveway. I'd be quite happy with that. As long as I've got room for my hi-fi inside, um, I'd be quite happy with just a massive driveway and a garage with an inspection pit and carpet and a heated toilet made from gold. Pingu asks, "Isn't Simon's a 1.6?" No, it's a 1.8, but it's 135. So it's the it's the it's the one, yeah, one up from the 1.6. So yeah, I think the standard tune on a 1.8K series is 120 or 118 brake horse from memory. Someone will no doubt correct me, but I think it's got uprated cams in the TF, and then the 160's obviously got the VVC gubbins on it. Simone says, "Thank you. You're very welcome." Yes, my TF will be happy to have you driving it. Absolutely. TF is called Dusty, by the way. To any of those who haven't seen my collection caper or read anything on my social media, the TF is called Dusty, which I think suits a car with an X Power grey colour. Pinky will probably stay with my trend of buying transits. Had four in the past few years. Do like a transit. They are, after all, the backbone of Britain. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, I drove one 4 years ago. I had one for about 6 months on a leased it. That was a it was a transit custom, so it had like 12 seats in it. It wasn't a minibus, but it had really nice seats. In a kind of a yeah, it's like a living room basically. The back of it. It was really nice. Um, Simone says to Pingu that she only likes the Mark II transit. Uh, I'm trying to think which one that is. Obviously, it's the Mark II one. Would that be mid 80s? Because my father used to run an engineering company. They had a transit flatbed, and that was the for me the kind of classic transit shape. So it was the you know real sloping bonnet, not the kind of flatted off. I'm talking bollocks. I'm a sick man. Sick. Um, yeah. Tell us more about transits. I really do like a transit, but I need to know what one the Mark II is without going off this page and looking it up on the Google. Um, Pingu did try a VW Crafter, but it was very unreliable. Last year it was a 17-seater minibus Mark 6. Ooh, very nice. Sloping bonnet is 1986 Mark 3, so it's the one before that. Trying to think what. Yeah, my dad's one would have been a B reg. So what's that? 1984, I think. Um, yeah, and it had a really small engine. Tough old van though. Went on for bloody years, and it was driven by a chap called Derek. And Derek was a lovely old boy, but he was very hard of hearing, so it was very difficult to have a conversation with him. And when obviously In the 80s, I was still quite young, so I didn't really sort of have understand that you had to be patient with people who had uh, hearing. Yeah, so yeah, B Reg Mark. So yeah, Mark II is my favourite looking transit. Um, and Jimmy confirms that Mark II, 1984. Now I'm going to have to look up what a Mark One is because I can't quite picture it in my mind's eye. Quick slurp. You'll notice I'm not drinking the Sauvignon Blanc tonight because I can't. It probably did me good to have a week of abstention. Flat face Mark II. Yeah, much more. Yeah. And then the Mark III, I'm guessing, is like Project Nigel's transit face. Is that the Mark III where they went uh, front wheel drive on some of them, rear wheel drive on others? I think. Um, uh, Simone says Mark III onwards gets confusing. I bow to anyone who knows more about transits because it's not my field. It's really not. Um, oh, Pingy's just dropped the Matchbox model bomb. Matchbox models are lovely. Favorite is the Mark II Supervan, like the Matchbox model I have. What is the Supervan? Is that the one that's got the higher roof line? I really am talking bollocks. I really am talking bollocks. Um, Transit Face is a Mark 6. Blimey. Okay, yeah. You guys just tell me about transits, then I'll just have to ask questions about it. Bad Books' first job, it had a brand new E-Reg Burgundy. Ooh, sounds nice. 1.6 transit high roof. He had to wash and polish it every week. A bit pedestrian, but fully loaded. Sounds lovely. Must be a lovely vehicle to have for work. A brand new E-Reg. Was E87? Yeah, lovely. Black Lines is in the house. Hello, beards and bangers. Hello, BL. BL, how appropriate for a community chat. Hello, Black Lines. How are you? Black Lines asks, anyone else seen the City Road for sale on Auto Trader? 1,500 quid, only 18,000 miles. I've not seen that. I don't look on Auto that much actually. I probably shouldn't, to be fair. That sounds. Is that? I'm guessing that's a good price for one of those. Piggy says this is the one with the V8 F1 engine in the back. Now, speaking of engine in the back, I did hear a rumor today that someone has managed to get a load of Metro 6R4 body shells. And there are also a lot of Metro 6R4 V6 engines lying around. And someone is going to maybe start making Metro 6R4s again, which would be absolutely fantastic. I'm sure if that is true and it does happen, they're going to be ridiculous money. But wouldn't it be cool to see loads of Metro 6R4s buzzing around the roads again? Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that was from Man Who Knows. Simone's seen the City Rover. Bad Book says, Rob, I'm not buying any more cars. City Rover sounds like daylight robbery. I don't, yeah. Black Lions reckons about 1,000 overpriced. I don't know. Is Boat? There's another one for sale. I'm thinking because Boaty posted that he's seen one that he likes because it's in silver. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, City Rover. I have to be honest. It wouldn't tempt me. Would not tempt me one little bit. It's a tatter, isn't it? It's a tatter something in disguise. With a bad Viking. It's a tatter with a bad Viking badge on the front. That's my generalized opinion of a City Rover. Pingu says that's the super van, a Benetton F1 car with a Mark II transit body on top. Oh, that sounds quite fun. So both one is 895. So we saying 895 is still too much. I did see the advert in his Facebook page, but the drugs have obviously screwed my brain up because I can't really remember much more about it. Black Lines asserts that yes, they're the kind of car you buy if you don't really like cars or driving, but don't have a regular bus service. Okay, it's like you buy it because you're angry, basically. No, but I haven't got a bus in my street or my village, and I don't want to buy anything nice, so I'm going to buy a City Rover. So sod you all. Blah. It just Is it one of those? Is it one of those Black Lines? Sounds like it. Simone says the Transit Supervan was on Top Gear years ago with a Jag XJ220 lump in the back. That's gonna fly, isn't it? Jeepers. We kind of when Pingu and I were having our private live stream last week, we were discussing engines in different cars. I think it was discussing putting VTECs and K series and such like in minis. Yeah, but I did get excited when I heard this rumor earlier that the 6R4 might be making a reappearance. Yeah, and the conversation came about from talking about British Motor Heritage and making metro shells, which they might be starting to do. But yes, yeah, I'm just really, really hoping and praying that I have an MGZT of some type next week. I don't really care if it's a V6 or a V8, but I really want to take a ZT up to Pride of Longbridge. But it might be that I'm in a TF or a BRM. Black Lines are back in 10. No worries, Black Lines. We'll see you in a while. Pingu believes the one he's talking about was made by Ford to set lap records around the world with their V8 F1 engine. Okay, just sort of a bit of a test bed by the sounds of it then. Yeah, testing engines. Oh, Red Bull. I don't know what Red Bull are doing, but they're seriously doing well, aren't they, at the moment? Red Bull. I've always had a slight penchant for since they came into motor racing because they're based just up the road from me in Milton Keynes, that lovely city. Is it a city now? I think it is, of roundabouts and Roman style grid pattern roads. The super van was 3/4 of the size of the normal Transit. Yeah, so that's reducing weight, and it's going to make it even perkier and friskier. Simone reckons that Red Bull have used a loophole. Yeah, I mean that was it the Saudi Grand Prix where Verstappen went from last on the grid. I mean, he was just driving that car was just going ridiculously. I'm just really glad in that race he didn't catch Perez because I've got a soft spot for Perez. Bad Book says it's cool regards 6R4 Metros. So they weren't part of the banned rally cars in the 80s. Spectators got killed. Tell us more. Was that with the 606? I don't know that much about them. I know kind of what they comprise of. Were they actually used? Was it just a concept? Piggy's a double DRS question mark. Could be some of that, couldn't it? But it's just that Saudi race was the one where it's like that's insane, going from last to second. Simone hopes Alonso wins a race this year. So do I. It'd be nice. He's doing well. It's nice to see Aston Martin doing well. Excuse me a sec. Yeah, it'd be nice to see Alonso, actually getting a number one, rather than just a podium, or thinking he's got a podium, then not because his engineer touched his car during a time penalty. Pingu predicts Alonso will win the Italian Grand Prix. Vamos, Alonso. Sí, muy. I can't say it in Spanish. So it's one language I'm not so good at. So, yeah. I was talking to an Italian lady who lives in Italy yesterday, and we got onto food, which is we spoke. Never met this woman before in my life. We spoke for about 3 hours about food, and I left that conversation feeling very hungry. Baba says it must have been other manufacturers. Big boo-ha. Yeah, I do remember this. Yeah, you sort of see the cars sort of flying into verges where people were standing watching the races. Yeah, sort of a childhood memory. And Pinky hopes that Red Bull will hopefully be banned by then. I hope they're not, because I have got a soft spot. But if they're cheating, then they should be lined up against a wall and have their DRS forcibly removed from them. Simone tends to support an underdog, Jenson Button, for example. And Jenson did all right, didn't he? He really did. He is from Frome in Somerset, I think. I used to stay down there for work quite a lot, and there was a hotel on the outskirts of Frome, and it was in Jenson Road, named in his honour. Useless bit of trivia for you there. But it is nice when the underdogs win. It's like I don't know. Don't think I've got any Spurs people on the chat, but I know I'm friends with a few Spurs fans. So I could make a joke about it's nice when Tottenham, the underdog does well, Tottenham winning, for example. But no, it's nice when football teams, rugby teams, cricket teams do well. Pingy says Ferrari engine cheats not working for them this year. No, they're not. They're nowhere, are they? Really? I didn't watch the Grand Prix on Sunday though, because I was flaked out in bed, to be honest. With these ailments that I thought I was getting over and being misdiagnosed. Yes, but I did actually make an appointment at my GP surgery that I phoned for today, and actually physically saw a doctor today, and I had a doctor actually put their hands on my person and examine me properly. So that was actually quite, I wouldn't say pleasant, because I was they prodded me in a painful place to diagnose me. But yeah, I was given proper NHS service today. I've apparently got to eat more fruit and vegetables, which I thought I did all right at, but obviously not. It's worth a rewatch. Quite a lot of action from Melbourne. Yeah, I will sit and watch that at some point this weekend, because I probably won't be doing that much. Might be doing some polishing of the TF just in case that is the weapon of choice for Pride of Longbridge. And then we got another. What's the next meet after that for me? It's Furious Driving's meet up at the Motorist. I'm actually going to go up and go up to Yorkshire at the end of what month are we in? April. That's it. And a crazy ending. Yeah, did it finish under the safety car? I think. But if there's another crazy bit to the ending, then don't tell me because it'll spoil it. Because I haven't read it on BBC Sport. Don't buy newspapers anymore because just look on the BBC website. It's got everything I need to know on it. To be honest. Three restarts, quite right. Yeah, I knew that there was some jiggery pokery at the end of the month, and the next race Simone says at the end of the month, um, which isn't that fuck up. It'll be May before we know it. I can't believe it's April already. It's here. It's arrived, and it's Easter on Sunday. You're not another year just flying by. Yeah, what will the remaining 9 months of this year bring? I wonder. Netflix. Pingu says Netflix taking control. Yeah, they got their the program that I watched that I can't remember the name of, the series about Formula One. What's it called? Someone tell me. Yeah, I am not with it. I'm seriously struggling, to be brutally honest. Oh yeah, careful shots of putting out Xmas decorations next, says Simone. That happens normally when the schools go back. It seems Tesco's, especially that aisle, the temptation aisle, as you walk into any Tesco's in Britain, they'll get the back to school stuff out of the way, and then there'll be the ludicrous Malteser based attractive packages. Babbitt says, yes, you're right. Scary. It's April already. I know. I mean, last year we have this. We think was it someone pointed out to me a couple of weeks ago. But it was like the anniversary of the lockdown. Boris putting us into lockdown, and that I was like, shit, that's 3 years ago. And we basically lost 2 years, didn't we, with restrictions and lockdowns and all of that stuff. Pink says, I'm looking knackered, mate. Have a long sleep. I'm going to wind this up in about 8 minutes. So those of you who are going on, I'm assuming Boaty's got a live stream. I just find them too late at the moment for me. Gives you an hour to, do something. So yeah, Simon had a good live stream last night. It was I had to go as well. I couldn't make it to the end of that, but yeah, I will keep you for a further 7 minutes now. Bad Book says, Simone, yes, he saw Easter eggs in January. Yeah, they do. Easter eggs in January. It's Tesco's. I'm telling you, it's Tesco's. Right, Christmas stuff's gone. Let's get the Easter eggs out straight away. They must have them ready for as soon as all the Christmas stuff goes. Simone says, yeah, it came around fast. Simone booked her NEC tickets before Crimbo. Yeah, and you have something to look forward to, and it's there before you know it. And it's I'm the same with Pride of Longbridge. It's a week Saturday. It's like, Christ. Yeah, empty road. I know it was great. I had to go to a building site in St Pancras, and normally I'd get the train and then the tube. But I thought I'm going to drive. I think the parking was about £5 because they were, no one was parking because they were giving parking away. And I got to St Pancras which is 50 miles from me, in about 55 minutes. I've never known driving into London like it. It was insane. Yeah, that was yeah, I remember that because Google's new headquarters in St Pancras, or one of their UK headquarters. They've got lots of headquarters. But yeah, it was good for driving. It was very good for driving. No bugger about. Yes, and it was luxury, cheap. Yeah, fuel. Crikey, yeah, it wasn't. How cheap was fuel in the pandemic? Was petrol? Were they both under £1.10 a litre? I'm sure they were. So I must admit, I don't look at diesel prices because I have a BP card for work, so I just tend to fill up because the price on the pump's irrelevant to what we pay as a business. But yeah, I'm pretty sure petrol was it 105 a litre maybe? I know it varies. There's regional variations because I know if I drive 10 miles down the road, it's cheaper than here. Um, Simone refuses to go anywhere near London. Hate the place. I'm not particularly fond, but I have to go there for work uh, at least once a week. I do try and get the train. Although I've noticed the tube is getting worse and worse. It's just getting busier and busier. I don't know if there's less services than there used to be, but yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed to have your head next to someone's sweaty armpit um, at the moment. That's for sure. Yeah, bad books reads Simone. Pingu delivered to Cornwall and back with virtually no traffic at all, and that's just luxury, isn't it? Because driving to Cornwall, um, I know for me certainly it's either the boredom of the M4 and M5, or it's the A303. And the A303 is a lovely road to drive if there's no traffic, but if there's a little bit of traffic, it takes an absolute age to get down to Devon and Cornwall. Yeah, so yeah, when there's often I'll go places in the middle of the night because if I really want to get somewhere, I'll just go stupidly early or very late in the day just to beat the traffic. So when it says London is too heavily populated, it's yeah, and it's so I work not in the building industry but alongside the building industry. And pretty much every building in London now is going up rather than they can't go out, so they're going up. And Wembley, especially. I mean, there's tons of building there, but there's going to be no daylight because you've got all these skyscrapers next to each other. So yeah, the density of London's population is just going to go up and up and up and up and up. Um, Bad because OPEC are putting oil prices up. Yeah, bar stewards. Great. So diesel's going to be back up at £2 a litre again. Then I'm guessing. And what's petrol at the moment? I don't know. I put E5 in, which is about 155 a litre. But I think is E10 about 145. So yeah, it'd be a shame to see that going above 150 again, and diesel getting up to £2, which is criminal because diesel is so much cheaper to produce than petrol because it's less refined. Yeah, I don't know what this governments have got it in their heads that diesels are really bad, and they're not. Um, Europe. Simone says that Europe have cheaper fuel. Yeah, they're in Europe. So Pingu was unfortunately in his minibus, which was speed limit 62 miles an hour. Well, at least you were limited without the frustration of being in a traffic jam, I guess. Simone says E5 and diesel is the same price there. That's really here. It's about 40p difference. Diesel's 30 or 40p more expensive than petrol. Yeah, so E5, sorry. E5 is no E5 is at 155 a litre. I go to Esso up the road. E5 is 155. Diesel's about 180, so it's 25p more. Sorry, I thought with bad eyesight, I thought you just written I thought you meant E10. I'm being silly. Babbitt says the OPEC rise will affect Europe as well. Yeah, if OPEC control everything, don't they? So Simone says it's 160 per litre. So diesel, that's cheap diesel. I don't know what it's like in your other parts of the country. I know everyone's sort of scattered around. But yeah, that's certainly cheaper than Buckinghamshire area prices. Um, yeah, I think we're about 180 at the moment. It's barking. Um, E10 is E10 is. I mean, we're about 145 a litre for E10. Pingu says that diesel is around 25p a litre dearer here uh, than E10 in Kent. That's all right. Jimmy puts Shell V Power in his cars. Yeah, I do occasionally. If I haven't got a Shell near me, so I go to S. I've got BP right by my front door, but I like SA fuel. But yeah, I do like to put a bit of V Power in my car if I'm near a Shell garage. Um, Simone stopped buying supermarket fuel for cars. Yeah, I will not buy supermarket fuel at all. Um, yeah, I take the van to BP because I have to take it to BP, and everything else goes to Esso or Shell. Um, right, folks, we're an hour in. As you can probably tell, am fallibucked, to put it in a nice way. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope to be in full health next week. I'm probably going to throw my video filming content filming schedule out a little bit because I've had a few plans over the next few days, but that's going to be going out the window, I think, because I'm probably going to have to get some feet up time going on. But Bad Books is telling us, yeah, that's good price for diesel. That's a good price, but I'm going to go. Thank you for attending. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to share. Thanks very much. Sorry, I'm not my usual bouncy self, but hopefully these antibiotics will kick in over the next few days, and I'll be in fine fettle very soon. So nice to talk to you all. We'll have a live stream next week, a pre-poll. But those of you who are going to poll, I'll be on Paul's Project Nigel Rover and British Marks, his Facebook group, stand area 22, I think, at POL. So do come and say hello and let me put names to faces, or faces to names even. Good night, and God bless. See you all soon. Take care.